Hey, so today I wanted to show you how Trey from Phish uses drop 2 and 3 7th chord voicings. Those are major, minor 7th, dominant 7th, and half diminished 7th, drop 2 and 3 7th chord voicings in about 5 different Phish songs. And before we do that, I'm going to show you how we come up with drop 2 chord, drop 3 chord voicings on the guitar, where they come from. They come from a piano and a theory perspective. So we'll go to the board there and show you how that works. And then we'll get to the direct examples with about 5 different Phish songs. Here we go. When you get a second, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and if you're interested in supporting me further, I've got a Patreon tier called Community Open Studio Sessions where we meet every first and third Tuesday of the month, and it's kind of an open Q&A format. Also, if you're interested in taking one-on-one Zoom guitar lessons with me, don't hesitate to give me a call or send me an email. All that info will be in the description of this video below. Okay, first things first, I want to show you the theory of where drop voicings come from. Imagine you have a major 7 chord that is a closed stacking like on a piano. It goes right in order. 1, 3, 5, 7. Like this on the guitar. 1, 3, 5, 7. Now the guitar, because of its tuning, right? We're tuned in fourths and then a major third, depending on if you're in standard tuning. We can't always play these closed positions, 1, 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, 1, 5, 7, 1, 3, 7, 1, 3, 5, closed stacking of all of our inversions of 7th chord voicings. So we come up with these drop voicings, which are much easier to do on the piano and much easier to think about. So let's pretend we're just piano players and music theorists for a second. We've got a C major 7 that goes 1, 3, 5, 7. Now the whole principle of drop voicing, drop 2, we take the second highest note from a closed stacking 7th chord, and this could be major 7, minor 7, dominant 7, or half diminished 7. We don't do it with fully diminished 7th because those are all symmetrically built chords with symmetrically stacked intervals. 1, 3, 5, 7, we take that 5, we drop it down an octave. Notice the 1, 3, and the 7 stayed in the same voices there, right? So your 1, 3, 5, 7, take that G, go down an octave. Now I have to kind of move my fingers around and now have this new sound. Now the second drop 2 voicing that we're going to see here is from a first inversion, 3, 5, 7, 1. Now if we did that here, 3, 5, 7, 1. Number 1, I can't stretch to play it because I'm not Alan Holdsworth. And also 3, 5, 7, 1. The X-Files theme, I think. You can't play 2 notes on 1 string, right? So that's another reason why we play these drop voicings for the guitar. So that 3, 5, 7, 1 becomes a 7, 3, 5, 1 because we dropped the second highest voice, which was the 7th, down an octave to be in the bass. Now that's way up here for the voicing that goes 14, 14, 12, 13. So that has your 7, and then your 3, and then your 5, and then your 1. Like that. Next up is the 5, 7, 1, 3. Where can we play that? 5, 7, 1, 3. I can't reach that, right? Or if we go here, 5, 7, 1, can't have 2 notes on the same string. So we're going to change that around a little bit. 5, 7, 1, 3 becomes that root position, which we all learn. Probably the first major 7th chord we learn is 1, 5, 7, 3, that voicing on the 5th string root there. Nice, easy shape. And then lastly, if we had a third inversion, the 7, 1, 3, 5, which again, you can't have 2 notes on the same string, or this crazy stretch of 7, 1, 3, 5. Just can't make that happen. So these are the frets 9, 5, 5, 3. Can't do it. So what you do is you take that second highest voice, which is the 3rd, and drop it down an octave. That's giving us this shape, this 3, 7, 1, 5. And that's that Men at Work song, Who Could It Be Now? Which is kind of a fun way or easy way to memorize it and helps you with your ear training. Moving on to our drop 3 chords, we're going to take the same stacked, closed stacked inversions of a major 7, a C major 7 chord, 1, 3, 5, 7. We'll do it. This one down here. This is also one of the first ones we learn. 1, 3, 5, 7, which is open, right? And we're going to take the third highest voice, or the second lowest voice, drop that down an octave, and we're going to get this shape. We're going to get an E down here, C, G. So that goes 12, skip. All of these drop threes, I should say, the fifth string will be skipped. We're going to go 12, skip, 10 for our third root, and then 12, 12 for our fifth and third. Again, or fifth and seventh, excuse me. So that's going to go 12, skip, 10, 12, 12. You could also call that an E minor flat 6 chord, which is another way to approach some of these is they could be respelled or renamed as other chords. So that's your C major 7 over E. So for this next chord, this 3, 5, 7, 1 shape, we're going to drop the fifth, the third highest voice, or second lowest voice in this case, down an octave. Instead of our third being in the bass, we're going to have the fifth in the bass, play the third as the next highest voice. Then we're going to play the seventh, and then the root. That's a really lovely, mysterious kind of sound. Stackings become much wider with these drop threes. When we had a drop 2, we had stackings as wide as a 10th from the lowest note to the highest. I think we get as high as a 12th and an 11th on these drop threes. So that goes fret 3, skip the 5th string, fret 2, and then you get fret 4 on the G string, and then fret 1 for your root. And that goes 5, 3, 7, 1 for your drop 3. Next up is a second inversion, and we're going to take that 7th and put that in the bass, so now it becomes a third inversion. And this one's pretty easy. You're going to play the B with your ring finger there on the 7th fret, and then you're going to skip the 5th string again and just bar and have G, C, E. Now that one feels a little bit uneasy. It's because that 7th is in the bass. That T-do leading tone wants to be resolved up a half step to our C major root. It's just kind of an uneasy feeling, right? And sometimes we want that. It goes 7, 5, 1, 3 for your drop 3 third inversion. Now the last drop 3 voicing here from a 7, 1, 3, 5, which we can't play because we can't have 2 notes on the same string, 7, 1, 3, 5. We're going to drop that root, which is the third highest voice, down an octave there to C, and this just gives us our 6th string root, drop 3, C major 7, which a lot of us know as maybe the first or second. This is the 5th string root, or the 6th string root position, major 7th chord, C, B, E, G, and that gives you those frets go 8, skip, 9, 9, 8. A really, really common shape in jazz to play for jazz guitar players. And that gives us our 1, 7, 3, 5. And let's show you how Trey uses this in a bunch of Phish songs. All right, so the first drop 2 chord we're going to show you from a Phish song is an E major 7 from the song Lawn Boy. It's the opening chord. And that voicing goes from the A string downward. We're going to go frets 7, 9, 8, 7. Now that's probably one of the first drop 2 voicings we ever learned before knowing, and at least in my case, before knowing it's a drop 2 voicing. And that went 1, 5, 7, 3 are the intervals. Throughout the night, right? Lawn Boy, right there. Now that 1, 5, 7, 3 was technically a second inversion, 5, 7, 1, 3, which you can't play on the guitar that way. Be something kind of mangled like that. What was that? 5, 7, 1, 3. We dropped the 1 down an octave, and then it went 1, 5, 7, 3. And again, these voicings we learn well before we learn about what drop 2 or drop 3 is. Next up is Bathtub Gin. We start Bathtub Gin with an open C major chord, and that's just the closed stacking or open cowboy chord, C major. We go to a G minor 7, and that voicing is fretted from the 6th string down, 3, skip the 5th string, bar 3 3 3 from the 4th to 2nd string. So it goes 3 skip 3 3 3, and it's a G minor 7, right? Get it sound a little bit more like Trey here. Right, so that G minor 7, you've got G, it's a root position. And a lot of these drop voicings that Trey uses are root positions, and they are drop 2 or drop 3, and you'll find that those 6th string roots have the 5th string root skipped, and those are drop 3 voicings. And the intervals for that voicing go 1, flat 7, flat 3, flat 5. So if we have a 7, 3, 5, we really dropped a 7, 1, 3, 5. We dropped the 1, which was the 3rd highest voice. Highest voice was the 5. The 2nd highest voice was the 3. The 1 was the 3rd highest voice. And then the flat 7 was the lowest voice, or 4th highest voice. But we dropped that 3rd highest voice, the root, down an octave. So really, we dropped a 3rd inversion to become a root position. Sounds more like gin when you get the nail involved there. Now let's take a look at Stash, one of our favorite Phish songs. We got a D minor 7, B flat dominant 7, an E half diminished 7, and then an A dominant 7. Now I'm not sure which voicing Trey plays on the dominant 7th chord, so I'll take a stab at that. But the minor 7, that goes 1, 5, flat 7, flat 3. 1, 5, flat 7, flat 3. So you got a 5, 7, 1, flat 3. So that's a drop 2 voicing of a 2nd inversion with the 5th in the bass. And you drop that root down an octave to get that very familiar minor 7 shape. Now the next one, I think he probably does this one. And what's that one? That's a 1, 5, 7, 3. So that's also a drop 2 voicing for a dominant 7 if he uses that one. Or if he uses this dominant 7 shape, which goes 1, 7, 3, 5, that's also a drop 3. You've dropped the root down an octave from a 3rd inversion. Flat 7, 1, 3, 5. We drop that root down an octave. But I have a feeling he plays this one. And then our 3rd chord there, the E half diminished 7, that voicing is spelled out. Here are the frets. We go 7, 8, 7, 8 with fingers 1, 3, 2, 4 for a very spooky, beautiful half diminished 7th chord. Now that voicing goes 1, flat 5, flat 7, flat 3, which is just a basic drop 2 voicing. 1, 5, 7, 3. And then another dominant 7 at the end. It's either that one or that one. Again, I'm not sure which one Trey uses. So drop 2, drop 3 if he uses that, drop 2, and then that A dominant 7, that could be either a drop 2 or a drop 3 that way. Now here's one of my favorite Phish songs, Way. I botched the intro there. More so on the chords. When Trey plays the E major 7, kind of like in Lawn Boy, he does this voicing here, which goes 7, 6, 8. Why way on a sunny day? Right, now that voicing there goes 1, 3, 7. So it's kind of, and I'm stretching here a little bit. Now, if you put that 5th in the bass, that B, E, 5, 1, 3, 7. Now you've got a drop 2, 5, 1, 3, 7. It was a 1, 3, 5, 7, like this. You take that 5th, 2nd highest voice, and you drop 2. But he doesn't play that low B because he's got Gordo and then Paige on the piano with probably playing low end stuff, so he doesn't need to do that low B. Now, what that gets called actually is a shell voicing, 1, 3, 7. You got the color tones or the guide tones in there, the 3 and the 7 of a 7th chord, 1, 3, 7, right? You could even get rid of the 1 if you want it to be rootless, right? But that's kind of a jazz thing. So I hear him play that on the album version on Rift for Way 137. So it's kind of like a drop 2 without the bass note. So it's really not a drop 2. So I'm stretching a little bit there, but it's almost like where these shell voicings come from. You got a 5, 1, 3, 7. Get rid of the 5. Now you have a 1, 3, 7. And last but not least, we've got Lizards from the Clifford Ball here. I'm going to throw this up on the screen. Hopefully you can see it. Right after the Gow, Gow, Gow section, they go into the piano solo, which is that B flat major 7, A minor 7, A flat major 7, or G minor 7. And jury's out. It might start on the A flat major 7, actually, and go A flat major 7, G minor 7, B flat major 7, A minor 7. But let's look at how Trey, or where Trey plays, and give us an indication about how he's doing his drop voicings. Again, all root positions. And it does start on the A flat major 7. There's the B flat major 7, A minor 7, A flat major 7. He's way up here to start. And he switched, he went down here. B flat major 7, A minor 7, A flat major 7, G minor 7. Or you could do it up here. Right? And then you've got... All right, let's pause that. So just a couple things I wanted to show you about what he's doing. That first B flat major 7 goes 13, 15, 14, 15, which is that major 7. We already know that 1, 5, 7, 3. Then it goes down to a minor 7. That one we've already used. 1, 5, flat 7, flat 3. And then the same thing for the A flat major 7 and the G minor 7. You know, just basic root position 7th chords that we've learned, major 7th, minor 7th, major 7, minor 7th, that happen to be drop 2 chords. Now down here, the B flat major 7 is a drop 3 because we've got that 5th string skipped. And that goes 6, skip, 7, 7, 6, right? For that 1, 7, 3, 5, drop 3 voicing, right? We've dropped the root. Now we have our bathtub gin, except it's an A minor 7 this time. 1, flat 7, flat 3, 5. That's another root position, drop 3 voicing. And then again, A flat major 7. He might throw a couple of these in there where he does the B flat major 7 root positions, and these are close stacking as if he was a piano player. And then the A flat major 7. But I think he does the drop 3 voicing on this Clifford Ball, if my ears don't deceive me. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Take care.